What's going on, everybody? Gustav the 13th here with a new video talking about the Zeta Gundam 3B type for the week of June 20th, 2024 on GBO2 console. We have a new 650 support this time around. It's a 3-star, and as it is a transformable, as Zetas tend to be, there is no compatibility on this bad boy. Melee priority 1 on here. Keep that in mind because this has a really silly skill we're going to get into later. But for now, let us look at the weapons and all that good stuff as we always do. So this is kind of taking a page from the HWS. We got a big dumb 3B type beam cannon. Handheld, no commit stance on this. The interesting thing about that being the fact that, as it says here, normal fire suppresses, focus fire consumes all rounds, which mileage may vary on that. It seems like it only just takes 5. Focus for that offers long suppression and penetration, so you got a penetrating heavy stagger in your pocket right here. Not bad for something you can fire on the move. The saber on this, nothing to really write home about outside of what we'll talk about later. It's got its own grenade launcher here, 4 shots, typically 3 hits on anything without DC will get it stunned, as well as the 4th shot putting it over if it has at least like DC 1. Anything higher than that, you're probably gonna have to throw in some of your other Vulcans, which aren't too bad. It's typically like 20 hits for this, and I'll still show it when we get into a practice. But we also have this, which is a little unique. Got the Type Mega Gatling. So pretty decent rate of fire, heat rate of 7%, power of 300, and a range of 250. The interesting thing about this is that you're not just holding this down and it just barfs out continuously. It actually has just a really drawn out burst if you hold it down. You'll notice that there's little bits of pause whenever you hold it down long enough. And then when we get into this mode, the Gatling transform has its own thing. The cannon transform has its own thing, and as you can see, it has its own different ammo pool here. 3 shots at 450. So the same general range on that. And of course, as most of these tend to have, this has its own little spotter type beam guns on the sides here. 45% heat rate on that. I think it's like a burst of 3 or something like that for 350, power 250. And now you can do the Gatling here as well. The shield on this, by the way, a small shield, despite the size on the suit. That's like, it looks big. It looks like it should at least be like a medium type. The configuration and shaping is like a small shield, but that doesn't look like a small shield. A small shield to me is like, you know, like on the ground Gundam or like the Easy 8, the little diamond shaped little shields that they have. Spike shields, shit like that. Handheld ones that the Xeon have, but like not that. Not something like that. Should at least be medium. Anyway, random grabbing aside, let's go down the list here for our stats as well as our skills. So we're sitting at 16k health, which is pretty fucking low, and when we get into the skills, you'll start to see why that is, but it is still a little unfortunate. Going down the rest of the skills here, we do have ballistic resistance at 25, beam resistance at 18. Ow. Melee resistance at 24, range strength at 35, melee strength at 30, movement speed at 125, top speed at 195, thruster gauge at 75, turning speed at 66. And looking at the part slots here, we have 13, 17, and 18 for close, medium, and long. Moving on over to the skills then, we have High Performance Radar level 3, High Performance Scope level 3, Observational Data Link level 1, Scout Parallel Processing Device level 1, which is a little weird. Technically, like I was saying in my stream, if you're just kind of like taking a knee and waiting for someone to come around a corner to catch up with that heavy stagger from like range, I guess that makes sense. But for the most part, the value of that rifle, at least to me, is that you can, you know, let that shit loose on the move. Obviously, good to have your radar visible and all that stuff if you do want to scope in, but high performance aerospace gimbal, which is interesting considering that it actually doesn't have space typing, but they at least, you know, it is a support, so they want you to cater to be able to hit at different ranges and stuff, which is nice. Transformation flight control program level 2, and glide structure level 3, so it's got a little bit of floatiness to it, pretty nice. High performance balancer level 1, so you can do your downswings on landings. And actually, which one is it? Oh no, we're almost there. High spec aimbag level 2, force injector level 1, aerial melee system. I don't recall if this is the first support to have this skill, but it's really silly, especially when we get into the fact that you're downswinging midair with what's actually just a traditional downswing. It's if you've ever seen it on other suits, typically they're very big swiping, like advancing downswings that shoot you forward. It kind of makes sense, and they've kind of had that logic for the most part for these, but this is not that. It's actually kind of silly because in this situation, if you go a little bit past somebody and do that downswing, you will crack them upside the head from the back, much like you could if you're in space. So kind of silly, not something you're gonna do a lot, but if you're feeling a little cheeky, you can try to, you know, jump over somebody, knock them down, and then make a break for it, right? So there are applications for it. It's just very, very specific. Here is the crux of a couple things in the way that this suit behaves. We have anti-beam coating at level 3. So reduces HP damage from ranged beamed attacks by 30% and reduces reactions. However, damage and reaction reduction ceases when HP falls below 50. Note that it doesn't say anything else. At level 3, this skill does not give you any beam resistance drop off once you hit that threshold. Now, obviously, because they did give it this, and especially because this is a suit that has 30% on its back, and biosensor ability, which also gives it a bunch of stuff once it gets that low around this point, especially if it gets hit again after that initial threshold passes. They gave it that low health, like we discussed before, and it's also why its beam resistance is low. However, that does mean, if you want to, that you can put some more beam resistance on there, and it won't go to waste once that coating is gone. So a little bit of a trade-off, different things you can do to counteract the difference. And of course, we'll look at the enhancement list here. So +1 to range strength for the first one, ballistic resistance, and then +1 to anti-beam modifier as well. Complex expansion comes at the end here at 2690. For the unlockables, they're talking extra ballistic resistance again, which is weird because it's actually the highest of the 3. And then a +5 to range strength. I'm assuming they just don't want to give you too much anti-beam for this, which is kind of whack, because it would be nice if you could just upgrade it to be in the low 20s. I'd be okay with that compared to ballistic, but you know, whatever. So, as long and short of its stats and kind of the stuff that's going on, this is also a suit, by the way, that comes from apparently Gundam Evolve, and it did make a debut, or not a debut, but a cameo in one of the Build Fighter series. But let us take it into practice, show it off a little bit, and we'll see where it lands once we actually do that display for the matches. I am stalling, can you tell? Okay. Also, something else to note is, like, look how much it's not really up high. Like, it seems like it's covering a lot with those wings up top on the binder. And it kind of is. It gives it almost a little bit of a weird, like, double Zeta-ish shape. But note that they're not very up high. It's pretty much flush with where the end of the binders are anyway. It will get you in trouble sometimes, but look at how it folds in. That's kind of neat. I like that. Neat little detail. A lot of gliding on this one. It would be interesting. And I wonder if they'll ever do this for a transformable, because it has a lot of glide structure, right? But it would be interesting if it had the skill that the Messer does with that V-fin, where it can actually just like boost forward with the binders and the little bits on the little wingy things and just kind of scoot around without having to transform. Like, transforming would just be an alternate method of getting into those other ammo packs and stuff. In fact, for all intents, let's look at something here. So, regular shot, right? Folds in, you're not sharing ammo with the transform version. Those are different. Right out of the gate. Not too bad on that. The bigger thing here, and I'm going to show this off now. not actually enough for DC on those missiles. A little bit of a slow thing for the grenade launcher as well. I don't know if I'm just accustomed to how they come out like on the Jagan and stuff. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't do my buttons today. That's okay. Not too bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on those, and I'm pretty sure 20 on these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. Alright, then we'll show off the other dealie here. So as it said, piercing and all that good stuff. Heavy stagger. Kinda nutty. Not too bad. Now, we'll look at the melee here. So, you know, typical stuff. You don't have a combo controller, so you're only doing one swing or the other. The downswing, as you'll see here, is just your typical, like, Zeta overhead. Which makes this next part a little bit silly. Bam! It's like you're in a fighting game. You're just doing, like, a fucking, like, jumping overhead. Smack! And as you can see there, we went past it and still clocked them. Like I was talking about before. Not too shabby, a little bit cheeky. Keep in mind that you're ultimately still at priority 1. So it is also similarly dangerous. Do at your own peril. Now, we're gonna get into an aspect of this suit that kind of irks me a little bit. Is the fact that, for the most part, outside of chunking with the missiles a little bit, this doesn't really do a lot of stuff to the base. Which I find a little weird. We got a huge fuck-off rifle. This Gatling beam that you would think with all the individual hits would do a fair amount, but like, just that 4-round burst with the missile does more than most of this other shit does at all. But you can ultimately contribute. It's just not as much as I would expect from a support or a suit like this. So a little disappointing. Obviously, you can ink out a little extra damage from crouching, or if you put a lot of ranged mod on it. But not too bad. For the other skills, like the coding and all that, you know, try to just keep a close eye on the match. We did get a couple that were okay. I think I might use the last one that we got, or maybe the first one. Placing super high on this, especially because there's a lot of people trying to run this suit at the same time, and honestly a lot of really weird shit. I wish I could show you some of the stuff that happened. In fact, we had one of the matches, we had a Zommel double up on support and fucking just constantly beeline with missiles blazing, not really doing much, and then immediately after getting wiped a couple times, I was like, I'm just gonna go rush the base and try to attack it. And like, we almost got away with that, but it was too little too late and really goofy. But this isn't that match, and we are gonna have the example match come up right around here.
We're entering the combat area. Everyone who's ready can sortie, okay?
Alright, well, I don't know why we have, like, barely any A pluses in this group at all.
Mission start.
This will probably be our last round, though. So I gotta try to go do the base recording for the video for this suit once we're done here.
An ally wants you to group up. Beacon captured. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
One thing for sure about this, and I don't know if maybe that's how it is for some of the other Zetas, but like the
enemy mobile suit
oh
destroyed.
wow, The missiles seem like they come out a little slow from the arm. Maybe that's always how they've been for Zetas though, compared to like how they barf out on like the Jagan or whatever.
It's been destroyed. An ally wants you to group up.
Suddenly everyone lost interest in that guy.
An ally wants you to group up.
Get your ass out of the way.
An allied unit's been destroyed. Destroyed an enemy mobile suit. The enemy has captured a beacon. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
Just shove that gun in there.
A bomb's been placed in our base.
Bro, really? They're gonna undo all of our progress here.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. An ally wants you to group up. I'm reading significant damage. Take defensive action. The mobile suit has been destroyed. Pick where and how you'll sortie.
I don't think he's actually on it. He's hiding and that other guy's still trying to attack him.
An allied unit's been destroyed.
Yeah, he didn't get it.
An ally has destroyed an We're too late. Our base was destroyed by a bomb. Welcome back.
Check the supports. Hi, bud.
Enemy mobile suit destroyed. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile
He's dead
suit.
at least.
Ally SOS signal detected.
You know, I don't think that's happening, buddy.
Beacon cap. Supporting fire incoming. An allied unit's been destroyed. Beacon captured. Minor damage detected. No impact on combat yet. I'm reading significant damage. Your mobile suit is toast. Eject if you can.
Oh, my lord.
Your mobile suit has been destroyed. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. An allied beacon captured. An ally? Boy, this is a pitch.
We have all these cap points all of a sudden, but we're not really good at not fucking dying, so it doesn't really matter.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Ally S. Welcome.
These guys have like zero interest in trying to
An allied unit's been destroyed.
keep 3 or anyone else on the other side alive.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
This fucking sensor went off. Really? There's something behind me.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
Fuck off. Stop not hitting him. What are you doing?
Bases are now...
Get your melee in there.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Minor damage detected. No impact on combat yet.
Man. Fucking crickets for that one. Nobody got out of it at all.
I'm reading significant damage. Take defensive action.
Fucking hello.
An allied unit's been destroyed. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
Oh, he got hit by that. Bro, this is what I'm talking about. Fucking attack these guys. I'm getting mugged by funnels here.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Supporting fire incoming. Evacuate the target area. Welcome back. Long-range supporting fire incoming. An allied unit's been destroyed. Supporting fire's all done. Time has run out. The
That
supporting
fucking
fire
beam blocked my main shot. That's so ass.
Nice
I
work
can't
out
believe
there.
that.
We won.
That sucked. Boo. At least I got fourth on that though. Damn.
Here are this battle's rewards.
So that was our run in the latest support Zeta. Overall, not a bad suit. It's also something to keep in mind that this is another 3-star 650. We do have in clan matches this Friday is going to be 650 cost. So keep an eye out. A piercing heavy at any rate is always pretty nasty. Obviously, this isn't the first suit to do shit like this. The super, when it charges, does the same sort of thing. Same thing with the C1. And both of those have very different kinds of follow-ups between the thigh beams on the C1 and the super doing just like big fuck off missile barfage. Now, the big difference, of course, being the super has to commit stance for what it does. The rigidity time isn't super long. But the C1 similarly can do the same kind of heavy stagger. I forget if its version is heat-based or not. I think that's the other big difference. Because as you can see here, even though it says that it spends all your stuff for that, it's not really. You're blowing through 5, you have 3 shots left. It just, and of course if you do the charge again, any extra amount that you do because of that upper limit will blow through whatever you have left. But it does mean that if you're just looking for the piercing heavy, you can blow your other shots, charge the last one, and still get, you know, away scot-free with that. So not too bad. Overall, I like this suit. I think this is probably something, because sometimes I have a really hard time just kind of settling on a support, and I do like running the game lock at this cost, which is also a little goofy, I understand, but like, I don't know, I've kind of grown accustomed to it. But this is a nice kind of in the middle alternative. Especially because I don't really like doing a lot of commit stance stuff. The HML is okay, and obviously it does have another, you know, considerable chunky instant stagger with the regular Zeta rifle. But this readies up fast enough. I don't mind throwing in extra accumulation and damage with some of the other stuff that it has. And if you ever really want to get stupid, you can just, you know, bap. Just because. Would I say this is super worth it if you're not really big into supports or anything in particular that this has going on? Nah, not really. It's not the end all be all for this cost range. The level 2 running around will be kind of interesting, and someone brought up earlier the idea that, oh, well, we got another evolve like Zeta running around. There's one more like major configuration of the Zeta that we haven't gotten yet, and that's the red Zeta. It actually has like a weird, like old school version of the psycho jamming, among other things. So we might see that get busted out next week, because once again, that's going to be another 650 cost plan match. So it'll be interesting if that's legitimately what they do. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell. But beyond that, this is the long and short of it for the new support Zeta busted out here today. So until next time, this is Gustav the 13th. Good luck if you spin for this thing, and I'll talk to you all next time.